Canyon landfill in the Santa Clarita Valley has caused health problems for residents in Valverde, Castaic, and Valencia, along with other surrounding neighborhoods. But earlier this year, the landfill ceased its operations of accepting more trash after a smoldering chemical reaction sent intense odors, releasing cancer-causing gases, toxic chemicals, and a black sludge we know as leachate into surrounding neighborhoods. The foul-smelling gas is so bad and harmful, residents have been getting sick, many battling new cancer diagnoses. But just because it's closed, the landfill waste remains in this community. There are reports the underground fire has tripled in size from 30 to 90 acres and is expected to burn for decades. So joining us now is California State Representative Pilar Schiavo alongside Jane Williams. She's the Executive Director of California Communities Against Toxics. As a desperate plea to bring attention to the dangers residents are facing there. We also have a resident there as well, Steve House, who lives there and is battling so many issues with your family as well, Steve. But Assemblywoman, you camped out overnight in Valverde there. How are you feeling this morning?
Feeling pretty sick to my stomach right now. Woke up with a very sore throat last night, had burning eyes. You know, every time I come here within a half hour, I get a headache. My ears have been ringing pretty intensely. And, you know, these are all symptoms that we hear from residents all the time, and even much worse, tremors. And, you know, we chose to camp here because Steve's wife just finished battling stage 3 breast cancer. Nearly every neighbor has cancer right here in this small neighborhood. Yeah, we've reported on that cancer cluster that we are seeing in Valverde. And Jane, you respond to chemical disasters around the country, and you have just recently been very vocal about the statistics, saying this landfill is now the longest active chemical disaster in U.S. history. You would think more attention would be put on this.
Yes, well, you know what? I was not the first person to say that. The first person to say that was one of the people that responded from Region 9 EPA almost 18 months ago. So it was 18 months ago, the longest continuously emitting chemical disaster. Now we're 3 years in. The first time I got a call from somebody here was in February 3 years ago. So this situation has gone for far too long, and people really need to be relocated.
Yes, and that's what you're pushing for, Assemblywoman, by camping out overnight, because, yes, the landfill not accepting any more trash. It's technically closed, but everything's still there. The issues are still there. It still smells. These gases are being released to these neighborhoods. What are you trying to do for this community now? So I've called for a state of emergency. The community has really been calling for a state of emergency for a very long time. Both the county and the state could take those actions today if they wanted to, and that would help bring immediate relief to them and also help push for federal relief at FEMA. You know, at the state level, I'm trying to piece together, in the absence of a state of emergency, things that a state of emergency would do, like tax relief for people who received tax or relief funds from the landfill to help pay for. Stephen had to redo his whole HVAC system, right? Replace the windows, get industrial size air filters that cost $1,000 each in their home, thousands of dollars of work, and then they have to keep their windows and doors closed constantly, run those air filters and AC or heater all the time because they can't open their windows and doors. So, you know, things like that. We have a bill, the Landfill Fire Protection Act, that would make sure that this kind of disaster never happens again, and also fine landfills when they are negligent, and put those dollars, up to $1 million a week in fines, into a fund to help community members who are suffering as a result of these public health disasters that are happening. And I've also requested $25 million to help people relocate. Okay, and before we go, we do have to wrap, but Steve, I want to hear from you, and we have some pictures of this as well. This is such a serious issue. Families can't go outside. Kids can't play outside. You guys have all those bikes we can see behind you there, just showing what kids can't do. Pets are also dying in this area. Just how serious is this for someone who lives here and is your wife? I've met her. She's so kind and has gone through so much, battling cancer. This is so serious.
Yeah, it really is serious. You know, my wife was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer a little over a year ago, so like that, and it's been a really, really tough time. And the interesting thing is finding out how many other people in this community have also either had cancer or currently have cancer that are living really close to me. Not only the symptoms that the Assemblywoman is dealing with right now, we deal with on a daily basis, 24 hours a day. we feel like a prisoner in our home. My kids can't go out and play. We can't enjoy the wonderful community that we have out here. So it's very, very difficult for us. And really, I think the only option is that we are relocated to a new location. And then also they make sure that nobody lives in these houses. So don't relocate me and put somebody else in this position.
Yeah, because we know this was going to just go on for decades at this point. It's a huge issue there with no real remediation at this point. All right, thank you all so much for your time. Hopefully you can start to feel better as well. Thank you for doing this and trying to share this message to bring attention to this public emergency.
Thank you.
Thank you for covering the story.
Thanks.
Appreciate the conversation. Yeah.